Assalamualaikum. Today we will talk with Maya. Okay, so let's start.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi, how are you, Maya?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. What's on your mind today?
Okay, so today I will talk to some several some questions about what's the matter, the roots of concern.
That sounds like a deep dive. I'm all in. Where do you want to start?
Okay, so let's start. So what does the phrase "what's the matter" mean to you in the context of personal concern and worries?
To me, it feels like that phrase is less about a specific problem and more about the internal weight someone is carrying. When someone asks, what's the matter, they're usually looking for the thing that's tilting the balance of a person's mood. That's like an invitation to unload the baggage. Do you think people usually answer that honestly, or do we just say nothing to keep things simple?
Okay, so how can we tell the difference between a genuine and concern and and unnecessary overthinking?
It's a tough one because they often feel the same in the moment. I think the tell is usually in the result. Genuine concern usually points toward a specific action you can take to fix things, while overthinking just loops around the same what if without ever finding an exit. Does that ring true for you?
Okay, so what are some common roots of concern that people experience in daily life?
It's a huge list, but I think a lot of it boils down to the unknown. Most people are wrestling with things like their relationships, their career path, or just that nagging feeling that they're not doing enough. It's usually that gap between where you are and where you think you should be. Do you feel like most people's worries are actually solvable, or are some just part of being human?
Okay, so how do past experience influence that concerns we carry today?
They act like a blueprint. Past experiences create these mental shortcuts. If something went wrong once, your brain starts flagging similar situations as dangerous before they even happen. It's basically your mind trying to protect you, even if it's overreacting. Do you think that kind of protective instinct helps more than it hinders?
Yeah, maybe.
I get that. It's a weird balance, like having a security system that's a bit too sensitive and goes off every time a breeze hits the window.
Okay, so can concern sometimes be helpful? If so, when does it become harmful?
Absolutely. It can be a huge motivator. When you're concerned about something, it usually means you care, and that energy can push you to prepare better or fix a problem before it spirals. It becomes harmful when the concern stops being a tool for a solution and starts being a cage where you're so focused on the risk that you're paralyzed and can't actually move forward.
Okay, so what role does fear play in creating concerns?
Fear is basically the engine. It's the raw emotion that turns a simple thought into a concern. Well, concern is more like a mental calculation of risk. Fear is the visceral reaction that makes that risk feel urgent and overwhelming. It's the difference between thinking, I hope I don't fail this test, and that pit in your stomach that tells you something's wrong. Do you think fear is something we can actually control, or is it just something we have to learn to live with?
Okay, so how can self awareness help us identify the true source of our worries?
It's like turning on a light in a room where you've just been stumbling around in the dark. When you're self-aware, you can stop reacting to the emotion and start observing it. Instead of just, feeling anxious, you can ask yourself, wait, why am I actually feeling this? Often the worry on the surface is just a distraction from the deeper truth that's easier to ignore. Do you think most people are actually brave enough to look at the root cause, or is it easier to just stay in the loop of the surface level worry?
Okay. Okay, so
I think we're
are
getting into some pretty. Do you want to keep digging? Or maybe you want to shift gears to something a bit lighter?
okay, so are most concern based on reality, assumption, or uncertainty?
I think it's a mix, but uncertainty is usually the real driver. It's the everything's or accepting. Most worries live in that gray area where we're filling in the blanks with our own assumptions, usually the worst case ones. Do you think you're more of a worst case scenario thinker?
Okay, so how does understanding the root cause of a concern change the way we respond to it? And what concern do you think people often avoid confronting and why?
Feeling of anxiety, you're actually dealing with the source. It's like finding the leak in the pipe instead of just mopping the floor over and over. Is for what people avoid, I think a lot of insignificance or the worry that they're not actually liked for who they are, but for what they provide. That's a terrifying thing to confront because it calls for a total shift in how you view yourself in your relationships. Do you think people avoid those kinds of deeper truths because the answer might be too hard to change?
Okay, so how can mindfulness or reflection help reduce unnecessary concern?
Still with me? Maybe it's a lot to think about.
I said it. What is the concern you have overcome, and what helped you move past it? Hello.